So does my doctor accept Medicare? And that's a question I get pretty often. It's really not a hard answer, but there are important things to understand. And I'm gonna go through that right now. I'll show you some real data so that we can be comfortable with what we're talking about. And I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. I can absolutely help you as well. I hope you take advantage of all my information. Stay to the end. I'll show you how to download my free book, Medicare Made Clear. You'll find that very helpful. Right now, we're going to talk about, does my doctor accept Medicare? Now, what's important to understand is which type of Medicare we're talking about. So when you come into Medicare, you've got a big decision to make right off the bat. Do you go on to original Medicare, which is Part A and Part B? You'd likely have a Medicare supplement, also called Medigap. Or do you choose to go into a Medicare Advantage plan? Those are all the commercials that you see on TV. So the big difference here is a Medicare Advantage plan kind of takes you away from original Medicare. It's run by a private insurance company, so it depends on which plan you're in as to which insurance company is in control. And within a Medicare Advantage plan, there's generally a network where you have to use certain doctors that are in network, hospitals that are in network, specialists, outpatient surgery, pretty much all have to be in network. There will be some plans that will call themselves PPO without a network benefits, which sounds terrific, but generally you'll find out if you want to go out of the network, it's super expensive. It's much more expensive than what you're going to want to pay. So it drives you back into the network. So it is a limited choice of doctors and hospitals and specialists and outpatient centers and everything else that you deal with. And if you have a HMO type plan at work now, you've probably got that experience where if you need to find a doctor, it can be complicated. And do they take new patients? And can you get in a reasonable amount of time? Do you have to go to a specialist or a primary before you go to the specialist to make sure that you have a referral, all that kind of stuff? With original Medicare, which absolutely I recommend hands down, without a doubt, really no question in my mind whatsoever, I would do anything I could to stay with original Medicare, A and B, with a supplement plan. It's fantastic coverage, out-of-pocket, super low, choice, your freedom. You can do whatever you want to do with original Medicare. But right now we're going to talk about, does my doctor accept Medicare? So instead of hearing it from me, let's go to a source that is pretty highly regarded in the medical world. That's Kaiser Family Foundation. So we have this article here, and you can see it is dated on October 2020. So it's a couple years old, but still pretty recent. So that'll give us a pretty good idea when we look. And this article is how many physicians have opted out of the Medicare program. So have opted out of it. They don't want to accept it, but it gives you pretty good information overall, and you'll see exactly what I'm referring to. And I'll put the link to this below the video so you can take a look at it. So key takeaways. 1% of all non-pediatric physicians, obviously we wouldn't have very many pediatricians in Medicare, have formally opted out of the Medicare program in 2020. 1%. So 99% have not opted out of the program, with the share varying by specialty, and the highest is psychiatrists. So for whatever reason, a lot of psychiatrists, they want to bill more than what Medicare wants to pay. So they opt out of Medicare, and you would have to negotiate directly with them. Psychiatrists account for the largest share, 42%. Of all non-pediatric physicians who have opted out of Medicare in all states except for 3, Alaska, Colorado, Wyoming, less than 2% of physicians in each state have opted out of the Medicare program. So that's pretty good choice of doctors. Now, when you look at what they call the background, the difference in how they're contracted with Medicare, and this is also important to understand, participating providers. If you've watched my other videos, and really in reference to Medicare Supplement Plan N, which does not cover excess charges. Excess charges are something we need to understand. It's not as complicated as it's made out to be, but either a doctor that is accepting Medicare either is contracted with Medicare assignment or they're just contracted as Medicare. Medicare assignment means that they are willing to accept 100% payment in full with what Medicare pays them. If they don't accept assignment, then they're able to bill up to 15% more than what Medicare pays them. So let's look at this. Participating providers. Under this option, participating providers agree to accept assignment on all Medicare claims, in other words, paid in full. So you can see as we get down to the meat of it, the vast majority, 97% of physicians and practitioners billing Medicare are participating providers, 97%. So I know in one other video I was going through some doctors on Medicare.gov trying to find a doctor that did not take assignment. I couldn't find one. So it'd be very difficult to actually find a doctor that accepts Medicare that does not accept Medicare assignment. But again, it's important to understand if you have Plan G as a supplement, no worries whatsoever. And there are a number of states, I believe 8 right now, that don't allow excess charges. So also Plan N in those states, no concern whatsoever. But regardless, I still would have no concern with a Medicare supplement Plan N because excess charges are far and few between. And if you do run into them, it's usually $10 or $15 or something like that. So non-participating providers, providers in this category accept Medicare, but can choose whether to take assignment. So that's what we just talked about. And there is a balance bill that is up to 15%. But again, if you have a $100 office visit and they do bill you 15%, it's another $15. You can see in the middle of the paragraph in 2018, 99.6% of fee schedule claims by non-participating providers were paid on assignment. 99.6%, so 0.04% were possibly balance billed. So it's really not something to be concerned with. Opt-out providers. So that goes back to the stats that we just saw before on physicians that choose to opt out, primarily psychiatrists. So if you have a strong need for mental health coverage, that's something to understand and to certainly consider. But the question of, does my doctor accept Medicare? On a Medicare Advantage plan, you got to be much more careful. It is a scenario where you generally have to work within that network. So if you want to go to a cardiologist that somebody has recommended because they have a specialty in whatever heart disease you may have, you're not likely going to be able to do that on a Medicare Advantage plan. On original Medicare A and B with a supplement, yes, you can go anywhere. You can go state to state. You can go across the country. You can really literally go anywhere that you want to go to a doctor that accepts Medicare. And we just saw vast majority of doctors accept Medicare. Obviously, it's the largest pool of customers for the doctors in the senior years. So pretty easy to understand, pretty easy to know the comfort level that yes, we can go to just about any doctor that we want with original Medicare. Hope you found all this helpful. Stay tuned. I'll show you how to download my book right now. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you found it very helpful. A couple of other things that you'll also find very helpful. Number one, download a copy of my free book, Medicare Made Clear. I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort putting this together, and it has everything that you need for Medicare now and in the future down the road. I have videos in the book. I have all the links that you need for things that you'll want to do within Medicare. You can access it right in the book. Very easy to do. Just visit MedicareOnVideo.com/free book, and you can download it for free. You can save it on your computer. You can save it on your iPad. It's a great resource to have, again, for now and in the future. Another thing that you'll find helpful is down the road, when you come into Medicare, sometimes it makes sense to do a price check on your Medicare supplement plan. So I made it very easy to do that as well. Just visit MedicarePriceCheck.com, put in your basic information, and we'll email you a quote on your same plan that you have right now, a G or an N or an F, whatever it may be. And likely we'll be able to save $20 to $60 a month in premium because a lot of times plans come out with better rates. So if we can get a better rate for the same plan that we currently have, just makes a lot of sense. And then obviously take advantage of all the information on my website at MedicareOnVideo.com. I have everything that you need right there for understanding IRMA, understanding employer work coverage, everything that you need, especially in the guides and forms section, you'll find right there. So we update everything every year, so everything should be up to date and current with the right deductibles and premiums and things like that. Hope you found all this helpful. Have a fantastic day. Wait, don't go anywhere. There's a couple more videos right here that you'll find very helpful with your Medicare journey. So take just a minute, watch the videos. You can also subscribe to my channel by clicking this button, and that way you'll have access to all my videos for everything that you need for Medicare. Hope you find it helpful. Have a fantastic day.